This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I am here with Diego Santana, who's joining us all the way from Rioja, Spain, from Valenciso.
Got it.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, very good, thank you.
So we're at the Spoke Club. I've just been tasting through 4 of your wines. What is it for you that makes Valenciso such an amazing property?
I think the main importance of the property is where we are located, because of the weather condition and soil conditions. Another thing is our philosophy about the attention to detail in the vineyard, with the idea of working with biodynamic and organic practices, the idea of treating the Tempranillo as the main character in the equation of winemaking. I think that's why it makes Valenciso so unique and
now,
so different.
You mentioned earlier that you thought that Rioja as a region was actually quite boring usually.
I always said that.
And what makes you think that?
I think that Rioja has now it's traditional boring wine growing region, because I think has been stayed in the past. Why is that? Because Rioja has always been recognized because of the aging of the wine. Aging of the wine was the only important thing about how to produce the wine. We never thought about thinking about the grape varieties, what is the best expression, how we can make it different. Imagine that all the new techniques that are coming into play for fermentation or bigger barrels or eggs or amphoras, those things are not approved in the winery. In the region. You can only do one thing this way, and then you get your certification. So thinking nowadays how consumers and how we winemakers are doing things, we're really restricted of what we can do, and we're not seeing towards what is the next step in the winemaking. So I think it's boring, because at the end most of people will think, okay, every Rioja will taste the same, which is true. So there's not much room to come up with something different and something interesting unless you really fight to get that happen.
Now, speaking of the aging in traditional Rioja, the main wine that was originally conceived for this winery was your Reserva, but your Reserva is made a little bit differently, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, we are Reserva because we land in the Reserva classification because of the aging that we have in our wine. Of course, with the use of the concrete, then the oak more than a year, then the use of the concrete after the aging, and then the longer time in the bottle. You have to think that we aged our wines minimum 8 years before releasing to the market. That's why we do things different. Also, and be honest with you, we have to have Reserva in the label because of the traditional Spanish market. If you want to offer a wine for a Spanish consumer and doesn't have any Reserva in the label, it's really hard for them to understand what you're doing, because they perceive Rioja, again, in the traditional way.
Yes, yeah.
Joven, crianza, reserva, and reserva.
And there's a certain prestige that comes to the Reserva name.
It's a big prestige because of they understand all the aging that has been through that wine, and that's why they are willing to have it.
Now you concentrate mainly upon Tempranillo. How much of your production is, or your vineyards are Tempranillo?
Everything apart from a small...
apart from...
hidden white varieties.
So speaking about the hidden white varieties, tell us a little bit about that. I find that your white actually quite fascinating.
Yeah, this as I told you at the beginning, our dream was to produce one Tempranillo and base all of our effort in the Tempranillo. But we have this unique, we found out, because they are kind of hidden and blended with the Tempranillo, Buda and White Grenache. It's 100-year-old vines.
That's quite some age, right?
Yeah,
okay.
indigenous grape variety of Buda, which is famous Macabeo in the south of France. And we decided to also show a different face, never to lose that identity of both grape variety. That's why we decided to ferment the wine in Russian oak.
Russian oak. Now, this is a co-ferment, right? Because it's a field blend that you have with these varieties. Yeah. It's really fascinating wine, and a really good example of White Rioja, I think. It's really quite astounding.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, where White Rioja, again, is really small in production. Only 5% of the production in Rioja is white. And most of them has been taking the path of aging or fermented in Russian and American, French and American.
Yes, yeah.
So they have left apart the identity of the grape variety sometimes. We try to do something different and always respecting the origin of where the grapes are coming from.
And finally, we just tasted your rosé, which was again something quite different for me. That's Tempranillo, but that is a bleed from your other Tempranillos, right? And how would you describe your rosé? Because I found it quite fascinating.
I would say that it's the highlight is a serious rosé. Why is that? Because as you see in really old vines, it started the fermentation in the concrete, and after 12 hours of bleeding and then a slow fermentation in natural yeast will give us this kind of style of rosado that is really unique, because we try to balance the acidity with the alcohol and the fruit expression. So you get that kind of sweet feeling at the beginning, but then when you drink it, you have the dry aftertaste. So it's a really kind of different and unique style of rosado.
So if you're looking at the best types of foods to pair with the 4 wines that we have here, what would you choose personally?
Very good question. I think with the white, any kind of seafood will go fantastic, or any kind of light pasta also will do really well. For the rosado, I have it's interesting, but with any tartar will go quite good, and sometimes with the octopus as well. I have tried it in Mexico or in some places that they bring octopus to the rosado, and I found out it's a fantastic match. And with the 2 wines, because of the acidity it has, because of the soft tannins, I would say, and I will hardly say it's really versatile style of wine. So
this is with the reds,
the reds. So can really be matched with any kind of food, of meat, or poultry, or any kind of dessert food, to be honest.
Well, quite delicious wines and very, very contemporary Riojas in my mind.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Diego, for joining us at Good Food Revolution. Hopefully we'll see you in Rioja at some point.
Hopefully, you're more than welcome to come and visit us, please.
You'll wish
anyone.
You'll wish you had never said that.
Yeah, no, anyone, please. Valenciso, we are like a family, and everybody is more than happy to have it over. I mean, they were really impressed about the winery, about the state we have, because it's something different. Like the wines, the winery is also different.
Superb. Diego, thank you for joining us at Good Food Revolution, and bye for now.
Thank you, bye-bye.